So, Far Cry 5 has been out for a few days now. I've spent most of my time playing through the story, really been enjoying the game. If you haven't picked it up, I highly recommend that you do. But some more creative folks have been spending a lot more time in the arcade editor. Now, this section of Far Cry 5 gives you access to all of the assets of the game, and lots of other games too, like Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed, that run on the same game engine, and it's all in the name of letting the community just run wild and create free content that people can play in solo, co-op, and multiplayer scenarios. It's like a totally separate section of Far Cry 5 where everyone just goes nuts and creates really awesome things. Now, I'm sure a lot of you will recognise in the background that a very clever person called Danny on PC has spent the time to recreate the iconic NOSHAHR Canals map from Battlefield 3 in Far Cry 5 Arcade. And I have to say, his work is extremely impressive and it's scarily similar to the original map. You might remember towards the tail end of Battlefield 4's life cycle that DICE actually recreated this map as part of the Dragon Valley map, which was their Legacy Operations DLC. And DICE tried to make the map better by opening it up and widening some of the choke points. But it's safe to say that the remake was nowhere near as popular as the original map, and some of the original map's issues that DICE tried to fix in the BF4 version were actually the best parts of the BF3 map. Running around in the crates in the middle, madly spraying people with assault rifles and PDWs, whilst trying to avoid grenades being thrown in and C4 being dropped from parachuting support players, was what made the map so fun. So the BF4 version turned out to be less fun than the original, which is what most remakes tend to be, of course. However, Danny's attempt here in Far Cry 5 is an almost-to-scale remake of the Battlefield 3 map, which of course was a great map, and that makes this version very, very good as well. You've got all the main areas of the map included, all the different levels to it as well. The crane down the far end, that's there, although you can't get up onto it because you can't para-drop into the map from anywhere, and Danny hasn't added any grappling locations. He doesn't want people camping up on the crane like they do in Battlefield 3. You've got the crates in the centre, looks almost identical to the Battlefield 3 map, and plays very, very similarly, although there are some slight differences. But it's got the same little crutches in there, all the nooks and crannies that you can hide in and use as cover. Then there's the train track section at the top, standing above the dock below, complete with trains, and there's the canal section over on the right-hand side of the map. And there's even some small touches, like down the far end, where there's a dumpster fire in the Battlefield 3 map, there's also a dumpster fire here in the Far Cry 5 version. Now, there are some limitations, of course. Battlefield 3 and Far Cry 5 are vastly different games from very different times running on different game engines. For example, the destruction that Battlefield offers can't be replicated here, and as such, some of the fencing in the Battlefield 3 map that you could destroy and use to extend lines of sight, it can't be destroyed in the same way in the Far Cry 5 remake. You can blow them up with explosives, but you can't melee them individually like you can in Battlefield 3, and of course blowing up the fences is going to draw a lot of attention to you. Some of the assets used don't fully resemble the Battlefield 3 version, but again, if a similar asset isn't available in the Far Cry 5 editor, there's not really much you can do other than substitute it for something else. I'd say you're looking at a remake here that's about 85% accurate to the original in terms of its looks and appearance. In terms of the way it plays, it really depends on which section of the map you're looking at. Crates in the middle, almost identical. Out to the left-hand side, where assets are a little bit different, then you can say the gameplay is slightly different. So 85% accurate to the original, and the only real reason that you're not getting that other 15% is because just the games are different. It's really difficult to recreate a map that was made 8-9 years ago in a totally different game with different assets and different things in a brand new game that's just come out. Although I have to say, Danny has done a very good job. Now, at the moment, this map that Danny's made is only available on PC, although I have seen somebody else produce a console version somewhere. I'm not 100% sure of the creator's name, but if you do have Far Cry 5 on PC and you want to find Danny's map, he's made a solo version just so you can spawn into it, run around and have a look around. There's a co-op version and a multiplayer version live in the browser. If you just search for his username in either solo, co-op, or multiplayer, you will find what you're looking for, although you have to spell it correctly. So Danny on PC spelt this way, like on the screen right now. That's what you have to type, or it won't find anything at all. Danny's also making some small changes at the moment to make the map better, so the footage that you're seeing now is probably already outdated, but if you can get into a multiplayer match of this when the map vote comes around, then it will be well worth your time. It is a really cool creation. But yes, there you are, NOSHAHR Canals in Far Cry 5 from Battlefield 3. Make sure you check out Danny's channel, by the way, that's linked in the description, but let me know what you think of all this down below in the comments section. There are so many things being recreated in Far Cry 5 right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more Battlefield-themed stuff popping up very soon. But thanks very much for watching, and until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.